Today I'm going to be driving 8 hours to Boston to play some of the best Warhammer players in the world at the North American Team Championship, and I hope I'm ready. The NA Masters features 8 regional teams from across USA and Canada and features some of the most successful Warhammer players in the world. I'm going to be playing as part of Team Azir, which is captained by my Season of War partner in crime, Ridge.
Hey, what's up everyone?
And if you want to learn more about the event, you can check out the live stream we did with one of the founders of the tournament. And also check out Rob, the Honest Wargamer's video about the event. And be sure to subscribe to his channel because he's also going to be live streaming the tournament. When we started planning for the event though, I definitely ran into some challenges, and the biggest one was figuring out what army I was going to play. At the time, I'd recently taken second place at a grand tournament with Slaves to the Darkness, but we already had a very well-practiced STD enthusiast, and my second choice, Lumineth, was also already being played by our friend Michael Sabetti, who you've seen on the channel.
Speed of Hesh on the cow over there.
And he also happened to be the one who beat me at that tournament I mentioned and came first place. So with my top 2 options unavailable, and some of my other favorite armies, like Sylvaneth and Ideneth, not trending very well this edition, I was at a bit of a loss regarding what I was going to play. I'd been playing a ton of different armies on the channel and practicing with OCR Bone Reapers a lot at local events and in leagues, but there was no list that I'd really found that I really felt confident bringing to such a competitive event. That is until Ridge suggested a very unique build, and since then I haven't looked back. His idea was to look at an uncommon list for the OCR Bone Reapers and centered around a unit that I hadn't done any testing with yet. The all-powerful and eternal necromancer, Nagash. With time to run short and our team being on board with the idea, I had to work quickly to hone in on a specific list. A staple in my OBR armies thus far has always been a unit of 4 Morghast, and while they're an extremely powerful unit alongside Nagash and his resurrection ability, I felt having 2 big expensive units left the army a little too thin. But then I saw a list from one of the most successful Nagash players and knew that list is what I was going to play. Leo Ratunin had signed up for the Nova Open with an OBR list that only featured 2 War Scrolls, Nagash and Death Riders, but 30 of them. Leo had won the previous Nova Open using Nagash, and I was confident the list would play a valuable role in the team tournament environment, but with only a month until the event and only owning half of the Death Riders I needed, I had to get things together pretty quickly. I immediately turned to a local used Warhammer reseller, my buddy Arthur from D6 Minis. Having more than enough built or painted Death Riders for me, I arranged and picked up 15 more of the cavalry, 10 of which were already well painted enough and ready for me to use right away. This isn't a sponsored promotion, but if you are in the GTA or Southern Ontario and you're looking to buy or sell used models, I definitely recommend checking out Arthur, and you can contact him or check out his stock through the link in the video description. But with 5 of the Death Riders needing a little bit more work to get ready, I chipped away at them over the last couple weeks, getting them up to the standard of the rest of the army. And while 10 of the Death Riders are going to stand out a little bit from the rest of the army, and I would eventually like to repaint them to match, they are definitely good enough for now. Outside of the hobby work though, I also had to start getting some practice in with this specific list, which is always a bit of a challenge because of the nature of the channel. Thanks to filming battle reports, I generally get to play at least 2 games of Warhammer a week, but those games are always played with a large variety of armies. In the end, I only played 1 game with this specific list for a battle report, and it will be coming out in a few days exclusively for channel members. Thankfully though, it was a tough test against my buddy Mark and a very strong Nighthaunt list. So it was definitely a good experience and I learned lots from the game. But while I've played almost 50 games of AoS 4th edition and at least 10 games with OBR specifically, I was only able to get 3 more games in with this specific list. That's definitely not as much practice as I'd like heading into the Masters, but I'm no stranger to this situation either. Because of the channel, I probably go into most tournaments with only 1 or 2 games, if any, of experience with any specific army I'm playing. But I've still managed to put up some pretty good results over the years. So this is actually probably one of the most prepared events I've ever gone into, so that makes me feel a little bit better. But with probably the strongest field of players I've ever played with, and the unpredictable dynamics of the team pairing process, I'm definitely keeping my fingers crossed that this goes well. And if you're interested in hearing how things went, or enjoyed this behind the scenes look at competitive Warhammer play, definitely let me know in the comments. But otherwise, wish me luck.